Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. So, boy, oh boy, we got a topic for you today, and it's something that we really want to get into here. So let's just go ahead and get into this right now. So as y'all know, we put up a poll on our channel just yesterday. I'm actually pulling up the poll here. And on this poll, we asked the question, does Gilbert Arenas say some of the silliest things in sports media? Why do we put up that poll? Because I was recently listening to him, do an interview on Vlad TV, and he's been there a number of times. And Vlad interviews a lot of NBA players, and these are usually great interviews. I watch a lot of his I watch all of his John Sally interviews. Obviously, his Iman Shumpert interviews are golden, and he just started a new series with him, and I can't wait to see what he's going to say because Iman Shumpert is usually very, very entertaining. And of course, he has Gilbert Arenas. Now, Gilbert Arenas was recently on Vlad TV, and during his time on Vlad TV, he basically said that LeBron James and Dwayne Wade were a more skilled duo than Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Now, before we even get into the audio of it and we play it for you guys to take a listen to some of the things that he had to say, when we put that poll on on our channel, in less than, let's say, 20 hours, 17 hours, we got about 7,000 votes, right? And 74% of the people that heard that basically felt like that was a silly thing to say. And over 374 people have left a comment, on the poll, as it pertains to what Gilbert Arenas had to say. So we want to play some of the comments that Gilbert Arenas had to make on Vlad TV. Then we're going to come back here and unpack this entire thing. So before we go too far, take a listen to that there.
Tracy McGrady said that Kyrie and Kevin Durant are more skilled than LeBron and D. Wade and Jordan and Pippen.
Skilled at what?
Just overall more skilled.
I would disagree because if we're talking about offensively skilled, dribbling skilled, then yeah, but defense and jumping ability is a skill too. And, Dwayne Wade and LeBron's, the way they, played the passing lanes, jumped, block shots, played defense. Their skill level on that, on just the game itself was very high. Yes, Kyrie and Kevin Durant are offensively juggernauts, but you have to be able to, one group, yeah, they might not be like Dwayne Wade wasn't this amazing, dribbler, slasher, dunker, blocker. Like you look at his creativity once he got in the air. You got LeBron jumping over people. The things that they did, like that's skill. So it's hard because you're trying to say what if you're just looking at the one dimension of just dribbling and creating your own shot. Then yeah. But when you're talking about overall, even I don't see how. I would say LeBron and Dwayne Wade are in front of Pippen and Jordan.
You would put LeBron and Dwayne Wade
skill-wise,
Pippen and Jordan. That's interesting.
Because you gotta remember, Dwayne Wade blocks shots. Isn't he in front of Jordan for shooting guards?
I'm not sure.
He might be in front of. So you have a shooting guard blocking shots like he's some man. That's a skill, right? He was a defensive player. So he really took time to play defense too. Then you got LeBron James. Both of them got about a 44-inch vertical. They both use their athleticism. So it's kind of hard. Pippen was skilled. Pippen was long. Pippen had a knack for it's really what you prefer when you're talking about skill.
LeBron actually agreed with Tracy McGrady though.
Because we think offensive.
As you can hear, Gilbert Arenas essentially said that, LeBron and D. Wade are a more skilled duo than Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Now, here are my first thoughts on this. Number one, and I recently heard a viewer talk about this. I think the word skilled is beginning to, the word skill, especially in basketball, has become overused. It has become, I think there's people have placed an unnecessary premium on skill to the point where nowadays the word carries no value, in my personal opinion. It's all about skill. This guy's skill, that guy's skill, that guy's skill. And people spend so much time focusing on skills. They don't talk about results. They definitely, when they're talking about skills, they don't spend a single second of attributing skill to the defensive side of the ball. No one even focuses on that. I think now when people talk about skills, they're talking about dribbling, the ability to get an open shot and knock down threes. I think that's basically what skills is at this particular point in the NBA, because that's what seems to be, when people are talking about skills, it seems to be that's what they're talking about. They're not talking about a post-up game, and they're definitely not talking about defense. If we're talking about skill, for example, is it safe to say that Hakeem Olajuwon is a skilled player? I think most people agree that Hakeem was a very skilled player. Is it safe to say that Kevin McHale was an extremely or supremely skilled basketball player? I think most people agree with that. Is it safe to say that Tim Duncan, the big fundamental, was an extremely skilled basketball player? I think if you poll most NBA fans, most of them will say they're skilled. Well, here's the commonality between those three players. None of them shot threes, and none of them were able to hit you with a crossover dribble. So why were they so skilled? Because these guys were, first of all, extremely skilled post back to the basket NBA players. You're not going to tell me that because a guy can shoot a lot of threes and dribble the ball, that somehow makes him a more skilled basketball player than a guy that can post the ball and score with his back towards the basket and be able to run an offense out of the post. There's no way you're going to tell me that. There's no way you're going to tell me that that particular skill is more important than the other skill. Why would it be? It's just your opinion, number one. Number two, to his point, first of all, Dwayne Wade, for those of you that have watched any of our videos in the past, we have been one of the few platforms out there that has actually been giving Dwayne Wade his props. Because I feel all too often, Dwayne Wade is discredited to prop up LeBron James. People act like Dwayne Wade was just some dude. Dwayne Wade, I think, leads the entire NBA, in NBA history, has the most blocks for a two guard. He is probably the third greatest shooting guard in NBA history behind Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Dwayne Wade was a hell of a basketball player, a supremely talented basketball player that was clutch. Dwayne Wade was a big time money player, and he had one of the greatest runs, single player runs in NBA history when they came back on the Dallas Mavericks and won that NBA championship with Gary Payton and Shaquille O'Neal and these other guys on that Miami Heat team when they were coached by Pat Riley. Dwayne Wade was a monster. So no one is going to take what I'm saying. Oh, you disrespect. No. I was one of the people giving Dwayne Wade. But let's just get to this for a second here. Michael Jordan alone. Let me say it one more time. Michael Jordan alone, from the offensive and defensive standpoint of basketball, was more skilled than LeBron James and Dwayne Wade combined. Let me say it one more time for the people that didn't hear me. Michael Jordan alone by himself is more skilled. He has more skill in his prime, in his body, than Dwayne Wade and LeBron James in their prime combined. Offensively, there's nothing to discuss. Absolutely nothing to discuss. Not in the regular season, not in the playoffs. Michael Jordan was in a completely different realm offensively. That's number one. Hence, he has 10 scoring titles to, I believe, LeBron and Dwayne Wade's combined 2 together. Number one. Number two. If I pull up, let me pull up Dwayne Wade's career here, because I want to make sure that I'm calling this correct. Let me pull up Dwayne Wade's career here, and let me see. I just want to be sure of how many all defensive teams Dwayne Wade has made in his NBA career. Dwayne Wade in his NBA career has made 3 all defensive teams, right? He's made 3 all second defensive teams. LeBron has made 5 all first. Michael Jordan has made 9 all first defensive teams by himself. Michael Jordan has 9. He has more all first defensive teams than LeBron James and Dwayne Wade combined all first. And he also has a defensive player of the year. So if we're talking about on the offensive side of the ball, Jordan wins that by 2,000 miles. Defensive side of the ball, Jordan wins that obviously, and he also led the league in steals 3 times. And not to mention he's clutch, not to mention he's fair. Let's go to Scottie Pippen. No one is going to argue that LeBron or Dwayne Wade were better defenders than Scottie Pippen. No one with any sense would argue that, right? Some may even argue that Scottie Pippen was even a better defensive player than Michael Jordan. Some people may argue that. no one is going to dispute the fact that Scottie Pippen was like the Draymond Green for the Chicago Bulls. He could pretty much do every single thing for that team. And I'm not sure, but maybe I'm sure he probably led that team in assists. I could be wrong a couple of years. So if you combine the fact that Michael Jordan has more skill in his body than Dwayne Wade and LeBron James combined, then you factor in Scottie Pippen, obviously the more skilled duo, and if you factor in the results, let's stop spending all of this time and wasting time on skills, and can we talk about results? Because that duo, their skills amounted to 6 NBA championships and 2 three-peats. The other duo, with all that skill, amounted to 2 championships and 4 tries. So you tell me, based on the results, who was the more skilled? We got to stop this. We got to stop saying silly things to sound different. It's ridiculous and it's unnecessary. Let's cut it out right now.